Have you ever picked up a pencil, sharpened it, and started writing without a second thought? That humble little tool in your hand has a secret life most people never imagine. From a lump of black rock pulled from the earth to the perfectly painted stick that sketches your ideas, its journey is full of surprises. Today, we're going step by step behind the scenes to see exactly how pencils are made. You might never look at one the same way again. Welcome to Story of Simple Things TV, where we explore the fascinating stories behind the everyday objects, inventions, and simple things we use in our daily lives. Let's travel back for just a moment, because every great story has a beginning. Hundreds of years ago, in the 1500s, shepherds in England's Lake District noticed something strange. Their sheep were leaving dark marks on the rocks, and those marks came from a soft, slippery black mineral they called graphite. People quickly realized this stuff was perfect for writing. At first, they simply wrapped sticks of pure graphite in string or sheepskin to keep their hands clean. Then, around 1560 in Italy, someone had a clever idea. Hollow out a piece of juniper wood and slide the graphite inside. That was the very first wooden pencil. But pure graphite was rare and expensive. Fast forward to 1795, during the Napoleonic Wars. A French scientist named Nicolas Jacques-Conti was asked to solve a big problem. France couldn't get the best graphite anymore because of blockades. So he mixed powdered graphite with clay and water, shaped it into rods, and baked them in a hot kiln. By changing how much clay he used and how long he baked it, he could create different hardnesses. That simple trick is still used today. Isn't it amazing how one wartime invention still shapes the pencils sitting on your desk right now? Now, let's step into a modern pencil factory and follow the process, step by step, just as it happens today. It all starts with three humble ingredients: graphite, clay, and wood. First comes the heart of the pencil, the part we wrongly call lead. It's actually a mix of graphite and clay. Workers grind both into fine powders. Then they blend them carefully in huge mixers with a bit of water until it forms a smooth, thick paste. The exact ratio matters. More graphite makes a softer, darker mark for artists. More clay makes a harder, lighter line for precise writing. Once mixed, the paste is pushed through special machines that squeeze it out like long, thin spaghetti strands. These strands are cut into precise lengths, dried slowly, and then baked in giant ovens at very high temperatures. The baking turns the soft paste into strong, smooth rods that won't snap when you write. After cooling, they're ready for their wooden home. Meanwhile, in another part of the factory, beautiful slabs of incense cedar arrive. This wood is chosen because it's straight-grained, easy to sharpen, and smells wonderful when you cut it. The cedar comes mostly from carefully managed forests in California. Trees planted and grown just for pencils. The logs are already cut into thin rectangular slats, about as wide as your hand. Each slat goes through a machine that carves several perfectly straight grooves along its length. These grooves are exactly half the thickness of the graphite rod. Pencils aren't made by drilling a hole down the middle of a single piece of wood. Instead, the factory takes two grooved slats, lays the graphite rods into the grooves of the bottom one, adds a thin line of special glue, and carefully places the second slat on top like a sandwich. Then powerful clamps press the two pieces together while the glue dries. When you look at a finished pencil, you're actually seeing two halves glued so perfectly that the seam almost disappears. Once the glue has set, the big wooden sandwich moves to a cutting machine. Sharp blades slice through it again and again, turning the long block into individual pencils, usually 8 or 9 at a time. The pencils tumble out looking rough and square. Workers feed them into sanding machines that round the edges and smooth the surface until each one feels silky in your fingers. Now comes the part that gives pencils their bright personality. They roll through painting stations where they get several thin coats of colorful lacquer. Many companies choose that classic yellow because, long ago, it was the color of the highest quality Chinese pencils, and the tradition stuck. While the paint dries, machines stamp the brand name, the hardness grade like HB or 2B, and sometimes a little logo right onto the side. Next, one end gets a small metal band called a ferrule crimped on. Then a soft pink or white eraser is popped into place. A quick polish, a final inspection, and the pencils are sorted, boxed, and shipped around the world. From raw materials to finished product, the whole process takes only a few days, yet every single step is done with incredible precision so your pencil writes smoothly every time. And the scale. Factories can produce thousands of pencils every hour. In fact, around 14 billion pencils are made globally each year, enough to circle the Earth more than 40 times if you laid them end to end. Now for some fun facts that always make me smile. Did you know one single pencil can draw a continuous line 35 miles long, or write about 45,000 words? That's enough to fill a whole novel. A good-sized cedar tree can produce around 300,000 pencils. And here's something else. The eraser on the end wasn't even added until the 1850s. Before that, people used breadcrumbs to erase mistakes. In our modern world, pencils still matter more than you might think. Even with tablets and laptops everywhere, pencils remain the favorite tool for artists, architects, students, and inventors who need something reliable, erasable, and cheap. They work underwater, upside down, and even in zero gravity. That's why NASA took them to space. Plus, today's pencil makers focus on sustainable forests, so the simple act of picking up a pencil actually supports careful tree planting for the future. So the next time you reach for a pencil to jot down a grocery list or sketch a quick idea, pause for a second. You're holding centuries of human cleverness in your hand, a little wooden miracle born from earth, fire, and imagination. If this journey behind the pencil made you curious about the everyday things we use without thinking, give the video a like, subscribe to Story of Simple Things TV, and leave a comment below. What simple object should we explore next? Maybe the story of paper, or scissors, or even the humble rubber band. We'll see you in the next story. Until then, keep creating, keep wondering, and remember that the simplest things often have the most wonderful tales.